This video is going to be kind of unedited, and to be perfectly honest with you, I've just been staying up late, just thinking about some depressing shit. Recently, I've been thinking about how much I failed Etika. I know that sounds stupid. It's been 5 years already. Like, and like, really, it's like everyone is always saying, like, oh man, it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, oh, it wasn't anybody's fault. It wasn't all this shit. I don't know. I'll be real with you. Like, when I think about all the stuff that's going on right now in the world right now, like the election with Trump, like, well, whatever the stupid shit is, the stock market going down, with like me hating my fucking job because of how toxic it is. Um, a lot of stuff on YouTube with like incel shit, with like black pill shit, with like so many people getting depressed right now, with like so much fucking bullshit. When I think back on like when I was like a subscriber of Etika's, when I was a fan of it, when he was still alive, when I was really keeping up with him, man. Like, one thing I learned from him was, yeah, this world fucking sucks. But the thing is that you have a choice to like look at the world in a positive light rather than looking at it with a negative one. And honestly speaking, like, that's what I've been trying to do, and I feel so frustrated. Like, I'm not gonna go into detail, but I got really frustrated. I get really frustrated sometimes with people when like, oh man, like, oh, we can't do anything. We can just, what can we do? Okay, what can we do? And also, if you're miserable at your fucking job, right? There's this one clip of Etika talking about like, you shouldn't just, you always got to be moving. Don't blame anybody for your circumstance. If you're miserable in your freaking job, you got to move on. That's what I'm trying to freaking do right now. I'm applying to other jobs, and I'm just waiting for something right now, to be honest with you. Like, literally, that's all. Like, you have to think about what you can do in life. And to be honest with you, like, it just kind of hit me. I was reading this article about I forgot his name. I'll look it up later. Man, I'll link it up in the description below. But like, basically, like, I think back on, like, personally how I failed him, right? Like, I think I remember on like his subreddit, the like for fans and shit. I remember defending him, and I knew that he wasn't fucking well, mainly because of personal experiences with other family members. I've seen this shit before, and I think what frustrated me so much was like everybody was just making a fucking joke out of him. They were like making like that subreddit, like they were like claiming they were like doing shit to talking shit about his infrequent like uploads, his streaming schedule. Man, Etika was a really smart person. There's this video from Etika Destination channel that he uploaded, and it's Etika talking about how like in YouTube, right? Like, having a frequent upload schedule sometimes when it comes to YouTube, when it came to Let's Plays, right? Like, the statistics, like all of that shit, like it actually can ruin your channel, because sometimes it's like if your content isn't appealing based on current events and YouTube algorithm and all this shit. It just made me fucking realize like Etika was like so ahead of his time in terms of like how he grew his channel. He was a very smart person. And maybe the reason why he also deleted his channel, and maybe he also deleted like his second channel, Etika FRFX or whatever, made me kind of think like, oh, maybe he was just tired of shit. He was just tired of all the fucking fake people, all the fucking fake people who are like, oh, whatever, and then they're just fucking cowards. They're just saying shit. They're like, oh, I'm all for this, but then their actions speak differently. And it just kind of frustrates me, to be honest with you, in this world where, like, you know, like, like in SpongeBob, right? You can be a Squidward or you can be a SpongeBob, you know? And like obviously you can complain about your life, right? Or you can look at your life despite your circumstances and try to like live your life in a positive manner. And for me, Etika was that guy. He was that guy that just had so much positive energy, to be perfectly honest with you. He had so much positive energy in his live streams. He had so much positive energy in his videos. He had so much a positive he was such a positive influence on the world. And it frustrates me that like I can feel his loss in the world. Like I could look at his channel and I when I was depressed, when I was in like college, like like dealing with like so much fucking family bullshit and dealing with so much fucking bullshit with failing classes and shit. Just tuning into a live stream or watching a video, it just made me fucking realize like, dude, let me just be fucking positive. And I don't know. It's just like I'm just tired of like the content on YouTube that I'm seeing. It's like so much depressing shit. It's like, oh, I never had a girlfriend and I'm 25. Oh, I never had a friend. Like I never had a friend before. I'm lonely. Oh, like all this fucking like incel, all this fucking doomer post shit, all this fucking like, oh my god, just shut the fuck up. It's like this is what it's like. Okay, yeah, life is fucking terrible, you know. Life is fucking terrible. Life is objectively fucking terrible. And obviously, here's the thing. I'm not trying to be like to these people, right? Obviously, people have like unique circumstances. Obviously, whatever. And also, like, this is just a disclaimer. Like, I'm not trying to be like, oh, whatever. But I feel like generally most of the time, right? I feel like it's not necessarily like a choice, but I think there is a certain mindset, right? Like you have to recognize within yourself where like what you're viewing on social media, and especially Etika's last video when he was talking about like all the social media shit, right? Like I used to go on Twitter pretty much. I used to be a very active Twitter follower, and I really quickly realized like I remember like spending an entire day, wasting my entire day and wasting an entire like day off that I had from work on Twitter. And I was like, what the fuck am I doing? Like I'm arguing with idiots. I'm like doom posting. I'm like scrolling through like depressing shit and I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, you know, all this fucking shit. But man, I miss you, man. I don't know if this video is not really gonna pop off. I'm not like whatever. You have to be consistent. I'm not consistent. It's not gonna be whatever. I don't know. I just want to make this video because I think the most important thing in life is don't look at yourself as in value as less than. Today I was thinking to myself I'm trash because of my worth to my job. I was thinking to myself I'm trash because I felt like I was being a burden to people. I felt like I was trash because sometimes there's situations in life that you can't control. You know what? I'm gonna try to be positive. I'm gonna try not to like think about work too much. Just do the best I can and all that shit. That's what Etika. That's why Etika was an inspiration to me. That's why Etika is still an inspiration to me. That's why even if I'm like 80 or even if even on my deathbed, I'm still gonna think of him. I still think about him every single fucking week. Like, it's kind of weird. Sometimes I forget, but like most of the time, I think about him. I think about how much of a positive influence he was on me, and think about how much he genuinely like made me look at the world positively. So, like Etika would say, I guess, you know, have yourself a damn good one. I wasn't uh a fan for very long. I think I got us some content like 2016 or 17 through JoJo reactions and shit. But I miss you, man. I'm tired of the world. I'm tired of people. I'm tired of society. Like, I'm tired of all these world events and all this shit, and just being like, oh, it's all this depressing shit. But at least let's just try to figure out what we can do, right? Just because it's like everyone else, just because an algorithm, just because the internet, just because other people in your life, just because of all this negative shit, right, going on in the world, it shouldn't define. Don't let it define who you are. Don't let it erode your childlike curiosity, and don't let it, you know, just don't let it consume you too much. You know, have yourself a damn good one, man. Rest in peace, Etika.